Okay, so we're here with Mitchell Gibbons, who's just taken victory in... Well, he's had a fantastic day. You took pole and you've taken victory in Heat 1 of Honda Cadets. Talk us through your day, Mitchell.
I mean, I did well in quali, which meant I had a good an advantage over winning on the heat because I started high up on the grid. And yeah, it's just gone well so far, and hope it carries on that way.
Awesome stuff. Is it your first time contesting at the Shenington SuperPrix?
No, I've done it last year, but I didn't end too well, so I'm hoping I do well this year.
Presumably, hopes of getting a certain plate come the end of the weekend. Presumably.
Yeah. At the moment, we can't do the GP plate because it's fully booked. So I really want to try and get this E plate. So it's one of my only chances to get this, and obviously including the seed as well. So.
Awesome stuff. How do you find the Shenington circuit?
It's one of my favourite tracks actually. So I'm really happy that is the E plate here and the SP plate.
Awesome stuff. Well, Mitchell, well done on successes so far, and all the best for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
So here we go then into our Honda Cadets A final. This is going to be a good one, I think, and we've got quite a grid to go through, so I'll talk you through it right from the off. Ethan Simmons is going to lead this one from pole. Mitchell Gibbons alongside Connor Duncan in third. Rylan Etchberg in fourth. Oscar Tewton and Ewan Charman will make up row 3. Row 4 is going to be Jaden Gregg and Thomas Kukurulo Yeomans. Henry Jocelyn and Josh Agambar round out your top 10. Ben Rayburn and Stephen Duncan are on row 6. Row 7 is Alfie Thompson and Freddie Hull. Then it's going to be Cruz Speakman and Jai Lawrence on row 8. Row 9 will be Lewis Island and Gustavs Yuzakovs. Row 10 and rounding out the top 20 is going to be Zach Drummond and Danny Shields. Wesley Swain and Callum Gosh will be row 11. Then it's going to be Ralph Youngling and Timo Youngling on row number 12. Joshua Rudd and Miles Turnbull will be on row 13. Row 14 will be Callie Clifford and Jacob Gilman. Dylan McKay and Aidan Mitchell will round out your top 30. And then we get our 4 promotees from the B final. B final winner, Jack Hobson, Reese Lomax alongside him on row 16. And then row 17 to round out the 34 Honda Cadets field is going to be Bradley Bick and Aston Sharp. So, someone is going to get to take home the E plate and an SP plate in this Honda Cadet field. I was prepared. I was going through the grid nice and early, and they've not come out onto track yet. But it's going to be a really good one. This our largest grid, and Honda Cadets is always a treat. Just to run you through, Heat 1 was won by Mitchell Gibbons. Heat 2 was Ethan Simmons, and then Ethan Simmons won Heat 3 as well. As I understand it, we didn't have the full grid in each heat because there's just too many of them. So we actually had not every driver featured in each heat. Each driver had 2 heats out of the 3 that they competed in. So no one was going to get a clean sweep. As I think we're just waiting for the last few of the Formula Libre carts to be cleared off of the circuit. Still plenty of spectators, friends and family around the circuit. Thank you very much for supporting the Teng Tools Shenington SuperPrix. I hope you're enjoying your afternoon of action here as we decide our champions to round off a thoroughly enjoyable weekend and one of the premier events in the British karting calendar. I'm delighted to say as well that the weather is playing ball for us at the moment. It's quite overcast, but it's also remaining nice and dry out there for now, which is always nice to see. Bear in mind, this is an A final, so it's going to be 10 minutes plus a lap for us to decide who is the champion in Honda Cadets. Still plenty of action to come after Honda Cadets. We'll have our Junior TKM A final, and then we'll have the TKM Extreme A final. So 3 big races still to go here to, as I say, round off what has been a fantastic weekend once again for the Teng Tools Shenington SuperPrix. It's been, it really has been a pleasure to go around this paddock and talk to competitors and the historic clubs we've got here, the Karting Legends Club and the British Historic Kart Club. And I would say to any of you watching the stream, if you haven't been to this event and you like your karting, this one is definitely one to put a circle round in the diary for next year. It'll be a big year as well next year. Next year marks the 60th anniversary of the Shenington Kart Racing Club, underlining how this club has been there right from the get-go of karting in the UK. Finally though, the Honda Cadets are heading out onto circuit. I can see just outside my window 34 kart fields streaming their way out onto the circuit. I will just give you a little bit of a reminder of the first few rows of the grid. Ethan Simmons, Mitchell Gibbons, they're your front row. Connor Duncan and Rylan Etchberg on row 2. Row 3 is Oscar Tewton and Ewan Charman. Jaden Gregg and Thomas Cucurullo Yeomans are on row 4, and then row 5 is Henry Joslin and Josh Agambar. So we're going to be back to the short hairpin, remember now. So don't be surprised when you see them all turning right a little earlier than we saw with our geared karts earlier on. And we're going to have a standing start as well. Bear that in mind as well. As there they are, coming under starters' orders. The 23 is Ethan Simmons. The 81 is Mitchell Gibbons. Neither of them have an E-plate on their kart at the moment, but there's 34 drivers in front of you there on your shot for those watching on the stream who would all dearly love to have the right to run that plate for the next 12 months. And over the next 10 minutes and 1 lap, we are going to find out who that is. And these young drivers, aged between 8 and 13 years, going to be under starters' orders. And we're away for the Honda Cadets A final here at Shenington. It's a great start from Mitchell Gibbons. He's got the better of Ethan Simmons at the start, and Gibbons in the number 81 is straight up to the lead as they head through Cafe Corner. The biggest car field we've got of the day. Do they all make it through cleanly? I'm delighted to say they do. Streaming through Pit Bend as the 77 of Oscar Tewton there I can see is trying to make... Hey, oh, and there's a contact further back in the field. And there's multiple karts involved there. I'll have to call them on timing as they come round. But we've got a few karts there who have been involved in an incident at the first major braking zone. I fear I may have spoken a little too soon to say they've got away cleanly. So we'll go through Wilkins for the first time. And in all that, the 23's got back past the 81. Yes, indeed, the 23 of Ethan Simmons in the latter part of the lap got back past the 81 of Mitchell Gibbons. Apologies. I'm having a timing glitch in front of me here, but I can see visually that Ethan Simmons is in front of Mitchell Gibbons. Ralph Youngling, Stephen Duncan, Henry Joslin, Zach Drummond, Freddie Hull, I think Aidan Mitchell as well. They all seem to have been involved in that drama at the hairpin on the first lap. Back at the front though, Ethan Simmons and Mitchell Gibbons have broken away, and then there's this battle going on for third place further back. That's between Josh Agenbar in the 18 and Oscar Tewton in the 77. And Ewan Charman, excuse me, is in third place. So I know if for those of you watching on the stream, the timing tower is missing off Mitchell Gibbons, but he is very much in this race. He is very much in second place. There he is in the 81 behind Ethan Simmons. And then this is then the battle for third place, not second place as that timing tower suggests. Ewan Charman in third, Josh Agenbar in fourth, and Oscar Tewton in fifth. That's the 42, the 18 and the 77 respectively. Oh, and Tewton has got past Agenbar actually, so that's a change of order there. And Tewton is up into fourth place ahead of Josh Agenbar. And then a 68 we can see there, that's Cucurullo Humans in. Actually, he's dropped down a bit because Rylan Etchberg and Connor Duncan have just got past him on that lap for 6th and 7th. A couple of seconds that Ethan Simmons and Mitchell Gibbons have in hand over Ewan Charman in the 42 there. See some of the drivers recovering up through the field after their initial incidents on lap 1. Zach Drummond has got up 2 places on the last lap. Jack Hobson, Henry Jocelyn, these are drivers all on the move from the back of the field now after they lost time on lap 1. There down the inside of Josh Agenbar goes Connor Duncan in the 0 kart, or in the O plate one should say. As they stream their way through. 42 of Ewan Charman still in third place, and I'm delighted to say that Mitchell Gibbons has returned to his rightful spot on the timing tower on your stream there. So you can see that the gap is just, you know, a tenth of a second, as is often the case there. Oscar Tewton having to defend hard against Connor Duncan in the O-plated kart. Fantastic stream of karts here, battling away over third place. Connor Duncan tries to have a look, and there's a move as well of the 78 of Rylan Etchberg on Josh Agenbar, and contact's been made, and it's put Agenbar right to the back of the field. And it was just a little touch on the rear right of Agenbar's kart from the front left of Cucurullo Yeomans that was enough to send the kart round. As they work their way through. And it looks to me like the O-plate of Connor Duncan, he's got through up into third place now ahead of Ewan Charman. As there's a contact warning for Rylan Etchberg. That'll be for the contact last lap, I would have thought, with Agenbar in the 18. And the battle goes on here over third place. In fact, this is over fifth place now. Side by side through Park Bend into Cafe Corner. There's a little bit of a touch, is there, between Charman and Oscar Tewton, but they managed to sort themselves out. Working their way through the Stratford hairpin now and onto the runway straight that leads to the chicane. Ethan Simmons leads then, Mitchell Gibbons in second, Connor Duncan in third. And it's a gap of some 4 seconds that the top two have in hand. Oscar Tewton is in fourth, hounding the back of Connor Duncan in that O-plate kart. And then behind them is, well, basically everybody else, because it's Honda Cadets, and that's often how it goes. It's currently Thomas Cucurullo Yeomans in fifth and Jaden Gregg in sixth. Look at how Oscar Tewton is trying to get some kind of purchase on Connor Duncan. We do need to keep an eye on the lead battle as well. It is phenomenally close between Simmons and Gibbons in the 23 and the 81 respectively. 5 minutes plus a lap to go in this Honda Cadet final. Is this a little look? Is this a look from the 42? It is indeed. That's Ewan Charman trying to get back past Ben Rayburn, and he's got the job done. So he's back up to where he started the lap. Clearly a bit of battling going on between the two of them there. Alfie Thompson and Rylan Etchberg and Alfie Thompson having a fantastic battle behind them for 9th place as well. Just battles throughout the field. And now Cucurulo Yeomans has caught on to the back of Oscar Teuton, so if anything it's a 3, possibly 4 horse race over 3rd place this. As there's the 68 diving down the inside of Teuton. That is Cucurulo Yeomans into 4th place. And now he's going to try and get onto terms with Connor Duncan. Just under 4 minutes plus a lap to go then, here in your Honda Cadet final. Ethan Simmons leads Mitchell Gibbons by a 1/10 of a second. And we haven't looked at them too much over the last few laps, but you've got to imagine that in the last few laps that might be something to savour. There they are. Your two leaders, almost glued together at the front there, and then there's Connor Duncan in the O-Plate kart, leading Thomas Cucurulo Yeomans in 4th place in the 68, Oscar Teuton in the 77 in 5th, the 34 of Jaden Gregg in 6th, and the 7th placed 42 of Ewan Charman. And up the inside goes Cucurulo Yeomans at the same point as he took Oscar Teuton a while back. And it's worked, and Teuton is now going to try and hound Connor Duncan for 4th place. But he's going to be on the outside of Park Ben. Will he be able to hang around the outside? No, he won't. So Connor Duncan is going to hold on to that position for now. But that was a beautiful move by Thomas Cucurulo Yeomans, and he gets himself up into 3rd place, the last of the podium spots for now. Brilliant stuff as ever from the Honda Cadets here. And further back, look at this. The 78 of Rylan Etchberg still battling away with Ben Rayburn. That's over 7th place. 2.5 minutes plus a lap to go. And they're nose to tail over 3rd place. Will there be anything this lap? No, they're going to hold station for now. I am just going to take quick look out of my comms position to see how close the leaders are. Yep, pretty close. Pretty close. 2 minutes plus a lap. You've got 2 karts fighting for the lead. You've got 4 karts fighting for 3rd place. And then just for good measure, you've got about 4 or 5 karts fighting over 7th place as well. Honestly, there are virtually no karts passing my comms position here that do not have somebody to battle with. Here are our leaders then, Ethan Simmons and Mitchell Gibbons. Both of them have taken heat wins this weekend, but only one of them can take the win. I honestly don't know which one of them it could be at the moment, and don't forget that they've only got, well, it's 5 seconds the gap that they have now to 3rd place, but if it all goes to tears between these two, Thomas Cucurulo Yeomans has got himself right into the pound seats. New fastest lap of the race from Mitchell Gibbons at 51.66, but new personal best from Ethan Simmons at 51.67. Essentially, 1/100th separated their lap time the last time around between these two. They have been so closely pitched all weekend as the battling still goes on over 3rd, and then this is the battle over 7th place that you just saw going through your shot. As we cut back to the leaders, can Mitchell Gibbons set up any overtaking opportunity? This is the battle over 3rd place. And has there been a change there, in fact? As we cut back to further in the pack. Here's your lead battle. And look at this. Up the inside of Park Ben, Mitchell Gibbons has found a run on Ethan Simmons, and he's got the job done. Can he hang on to it round Cafe Corner? Yes, he can. What a move from Mitchell Gibbons. Throws down the gauntlet in the last few laps. But there's a nod there from Ethan Simmons, I think, to one of his supporters on the outside of the circuit to say, don't worry, I can get this back. It's this lap plus another. The next lap will be the last. Mitchell Gibbons feels the need to go defensive into the chicane, but that's going to allow Simmons to carry a lot of speed out of the chicane onto the hanger straight. Gibbons goes to the right of the circuit to defend. He wants to cover off any attempt by Simmons, but Simmons is going to get an amazing cutback out of Wilkins Complex there. But Gibbons knows where to position his kart to cover this off. This is brilliant stuff from Mitchell Gibbons. Can Ethan Simmons find a gap? Not quite through Park Bend, as we're on the last lap now, I believe. It hasn't actually come up on my timing. Yes, it has now. There we go. That's as if I that was good timing. As Gibbons goes defensive again into the hairpin, Ethan Simmons will try and get the cut back. Mitchell Gibbons knows about it. He goes to the driver's right to defend. Brilliant defensive driving, robust defensive driving this from Mitchell Gibbons in the number 81. This is a fantastic battle between these two as they go down the hanger straight now. Can Ethan Simmons open up a gap into Wilkins Complex? We cut back to further in the pack, but we really need to see how this turns out between our two leaders. They're going to come round now. Who's taking the victory in Honda Cadet? It's going to be Mitchell Gibbons. Ethan Simmons. Well, we didn't see what happened down there at the bottom of the circuit, but clearly some kind of drama there as this car's riding up. That's the 68 on the 34. That's Cucurella Yeomans riding up on the back of Jaden Gregg. It's a dramatic way for the race to end here. They did both take the checkered. But clearly there was some kind of controversy down at the far end where I think one of our cameras, we just lost it at the critical point. And I'm not quite sure what's happened there between Gibbons and Simmons at the end there. Well, what a battle it was up until that point. And provisionally, at least, we say that Mitchell Gibbons has taken the victory there in Honda Cadets. We say Ethan Simmons provisionally is in second, and then Connor Duncan takes third with Oscar Tewton in fourth. Clearly a little bit of conversation to be had after this one. But what a race that was in Honda Cadets. Close as ever. As I say, provisionally we say well done to Mitchell Gibbons. And next up will be our A final in Junior TKM.